Hey, sis. Have you ever gone through something and then afterwards you realize you don't see life the same anymore? Like, stuff that used to matter, it doesn't even matter the same. It doesn't even hit the same anymore. And it's like the things that used to feel small suddenly now feel deep and meaningful. Yep. And somewhere inside, you notice that I've changed. Like, you start to feel like you've changed. If that's you, sis, let's talk about it. Because one of the things people don't talk about enough is how grief doesn't just hurt, it like reshapes you. Yep. It doesn't just affect like your emotions, it affects like your whole perspective sometimes. And it can change even how you see time, like time on earth or in general time. It could also change your perspective on how you see people and just life within itself. And sometimes it's like that shift can be like so confusing because sometimes it's like you find yourself thinking like I'm not the same person I used to be. And the truth is you're not. Yep, you're not. So let me explain why. All right, so think of your life experiences like a lens. You guys know, if anybody watches my channel, you know I like to give analogies to bring real things to life and give you an example. So think of your life like a lens, okay? Like you're looking through a lens. So, like before the loss, the lens may have been clear, simple, and familiar, okay? But then, like when grief enters the picture and enters your life, that lens starts to go deeper. Because remember, it was like familiar, your structure here. But now, as you start going through life and loss and stuff like that and grief, now it starts to deepen. The depth is deeper. And you begin to see things now that you didn't notice before. And you start valuing your time differently too. Like, you may appreciate the small moments more. You may become more aware of how fragile life really is. And sometimes it's like you become more sensitive. And you also become more aware of like your emotions and you're more aware of pain. And it could be hard for people around you if they haven't gone through all this grief, they won't understand it. And for some people, that part can be uncomfortable because you may think like, why am I so emotional now? Like, I wasn't like this before. I didn't care this much about this before. I didn't react like this before. So why am I so emotional now? Or why does everything affect me more? Whereas some certain things wouldn't have affected me like that before. Well, now they are because you've gone through all this grief. And what happened is that grief didn't make you weak, it made you more aware. And what it did was it revealed like how deeply your heart is capable of feeling. And it revealed how deeply you can love and how deeply you can connect because you see things more clearly due to the depth of the grief. So let's talk about what's happening psychologically though. So when you experience loss, your brain is not just processing that event. It's like updating your understanding on life in general. Yeah, you're not just looking at the loss that just happened of the family members, friends, relationships, or whatever the case may be. You're processing your whole understanding of life, and you have a different perspective on life in general. Yeah. Like, for example, before the loss, your mind may have operated with a sense of, oh, everything will be okay. I'm not worried about that. It's cool. I'm not worried about that. But then it's like after the loss, your brain recognizes that life can change just like that in an instant. So now you recognize that things can, not that you didn't know that things could change instantly before, but you actually felt it. And so now you're more aware that life can just change in an instant. And so that awareness then shifts your priorities in life. It shifts your values, it shifts your perspective on things. And while that shift can feel uncomfortable, it can also create something powerful if you let it and lean into it. It can create like depth, it can create more empathy, it can create wills, I can't talk, it can create wisdom. So it can create depth, it can create empathy, and it also can create more wisdom. Because what can happen is you can begin to understand people differently because you have more depth, because you have more wisdom, because you have more empathy. You're more empathetic. So now you can understand people differently than prior to the grief and the losses. You also begin to move differently. You may begin to value what truly matters versus what does not matter. And that's your faith, kicking in and things like that, because grief may change you, but it doesn't remove your strength. Let me say it again. Grief may change you, but it doesn't remove your strength. And sometimes what happens is it reveals a strength that you didn't even know you had. And I'm a living witness of that, because I had multiple deaths, or what they call stacked deaths, stacked grief, back to back to back to back, and then different situational instances and life changes and all that. So it definitely helped to strengthen me, like once I made it on the other side of it. And it did, you know, once you get an extra strength that you didn't even know you had, for example, a deeper compassion, a deeper awareness, deeper connection to what truly matters, and small things. Like, I don't sweat like small ridiculous stuff like I used to. Like, it's like, okay, that's not earth shattering, and is it gonna matter tomorrow? Like, if it's not gonna matter and it's so simple, I'm not gonna stress over ridiculous stuff. Whereas somebody who haven't been through the stack grief or a bunch of losses and all this, they may still be sweating the small stuff, because it's not that they don't see it. It just doesn't, it means more to them than it does to me. Like, I don't care about, like, a shoe on the floor. I don't care about if you missed wiping the mirror. I don't care about if somebody didn't speak. I just don't care about that. Whereas somebody who hasn't been through, like, I value more time, like people that's in the here and now. I value family. I value relationships. I value honesty, integrity, making sure I do what's right. I don't want to for somebody to wait. I don't want to wait till somebody's no longer here to give them their flowers while they're here, per se. But at the same time, I'm not gonna waste my breath on the negative stuff that doesn't really impact anything. Like, I'm just not. So if you've been feeling like, you're not the same person anymore, you're right. You're not. But that doesn't mean like you've lost yourself or anything like that. It means you've grown through something that changed the way you see life. And it's like that growth, even even though it may come through as pain, it's still growth. You still made it through it. You still made it on the other side of it, and it's still growth. So, yeah. And then just understand that different people grieve differently too. Like, you may grieve like this, I may grieve like this, the next person may grieve like that. Everybody had grieved differently. So hang in there, sis. I know it may be a hard time right now. Just remember that God's got you and He's supporting you. Um, the Bible tells us that God's near the brokenhearted, so He's there with you through everything that you're going through, and He knows all and sees all. Okay? So I hope this message helped you. My name's Melinda. I'm a registered nurse, life coach, and mentor. And on my channel, we focus on faith, healing, and emotional wellness. And I always try to, look at what psychologist says, and also try to bring out how we can heal and walk you through some of the painful times, and try to, also give you biblical advice as far as like what's in the Bible or scriptures and things like that, and just try to help you just to make it through another day with whatever you may be going through. Okay. And so if this message helped you and give you some clarity, please like and subscribe. And as always, I'm wishing you peace, love, joy, and happiness. Okay. I'm wishing you have a great day. All right. Bye.